Jimmy. Jimmy. Jim, James, son.
All right, well, she ended up making it home without any problems whatsoever. This video is going to be all kinds of out of order. It's like I'm filming with Alzheimer's because I keep losing clips and this and that and everything else. So you'll probably notice it has new license plates, which it doesn't in the previous clip. It'll have a bumper sticker, a radio, all kinds of other things. But let's just get onto the exterior before we get onto the interior. It's in very nice condition on the exterior. It has had a repaint at some point. We're missing a Camry. It's just a Toyota Ka, so I'm missing the MRI. I'm also missing the LE badge right here. No broken taillights. A little bit of a bump in the bumper, which is appropriate. Somebody has mounted a disgusting luggage rack to the trunk. I hate these things. You can bet they just drilled straight through the trunk. Silicone be damned. Again, the paint seems to be in good condition. All the corner markers are here. I already put new tires on it because the ones I drove home on were at least 25 years old. It has all the hubcaps and the beauty rings. Imagine that. Straight side. This is loose. I can glue that down. It's got chrome door handles. Chrome, whatever they call these, window scrapers. I added these so I can see in the lane over because those are very important. I'm a frail old man, so I need my little things. I should get like one of those old 40s things you put on the steering wheel that you crank it. Again, fender in good condition, no damage. Hood the same. Again, front of this car in very good condition. Grill has a slight crack in it, but maybe one of these days I'll be able to find a replacement. Probably not. Again, good shape. The biggest blemish on the car is on the passenger fender. You've probably already seen it. Again, all the hubcaps, all the lights are there. Yeah, that sucks that somebody would do this. I don't know why you would do this. If it's broken, it's broken. Just leave it broken, but don't fuck it up worse, people. Oh well, that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to fix. Again, as you walk down the side of the car, it looks pretty good. Somebody has glued these back on, it looks like, probably during the repaint. It has some old people dents, old people scratches, and we're back to the back here. So the car is in very excellent condition. The way this car came to me is somebody had told me that their grandparents, I think, had owned it since brand new, and they're in their late 80s, early 90s, and have developed dementia/Alzheimer's. And they were taking the car to go to church because they only lived literally like not even a city block away from the church and the grocery store. I got this in a place called Mesilla Valley, New Mexico. And they would get lost on that trip. Basically what would happen is they would drive down the street and be gone for 9 hours, and they'd find the car parked some random place with them just sitting in it, or the car would get towed because they would be driving in circles. They have Alzheimer's. They forget what they're doing. So this became a liability for the family, and the family offered to sell it to me if I would take it off their hands. So here it is, a 1986 Toyota Camry LE with a 2.0 4-cylinder. It's a good looking car. You know, somebody clearly cared for the car, and they've owned it since the very day it was manufactured. This is a one-owner car. Very nice. Very good looking car. We'll do an interior review here in a minute. It's going to be kind of out of order, so like I said, just ignore the little details you're not seeing. This kind of looks like my grandma's old car. I think hers was a Subaru Loyale. I'll see if I can include a picture of that right here. But my grandma had a very similar angular vehicle in the mid-90s when I was a kid. Overall, I love it. It's a good looking car. It's got that 80s look to it. I love it, I love it. So let's do a little bit of an interior review now. Let's go ahead and peep this interior. Let's check this baby out. Ooh, we got the crankies, of course. I don't think 86 came with power windows. Maybe it did. I'm not really familiar with this particular year of Camry. I'm more familiar with the early to mid 90s Camrys. But just look at it. It's a little dirty, sure, but it's all there. Even the freaking headliner. Dome light plastic is missing, probably rotted off in 1996. I mean, just look at this thing, man. Oh my goodness. I do have the key in the ignition right now, hence all the lights. Air works. Yes, the AC is working.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
It's got this wretchedly old stereo. I even got out this equally wretchedly old iPod to test the stereo. Check it out. It actually works. Unfortunately, I can't play too much of that or I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, that thing is still working after like 20-something years. I've had that thing since I was a kid. Too funny. Just look. Just look. I wonder if it has the owner's manual. I haven't checked. Ooh! No way. Come here, you. Oh, my. Oh, wow. This is amazing. It even has the cigarette lighter thing. Oh, and it's never been smoked in. Holy shit. Man, this car is like a time capsule. Gosh. Just look at it. And watch how it starts up. I mean, this is, you can't make this up. No foot on the gas pedal, nothing. No lights on. When I got it, it did have a light on for the brake fluid, which was just low. Obviously, I have a door ajar because the door is ajar. I always thought it was a door, but whatever. 126,000 original miles on this vehicle. The clock still works. Fuel gauge, everything works. I mean, just look at this thing. It's a bit on the loud side. Probably has a muffler with a hole in it or a downpipe with a hole in it, something like that. It's from 1986. The fact that it's even running is ridiculous. I mean, it just doesn't get this cool. You don't get this lucky every damn day. Unless you're me, apparently. Look at this interior. All there. All there. It's even got ashtrays in the rear doors. My goodness gracious. Freaking sun visors. Good luck finding any of this. This thing is broken. I'm gonna have a hell of a time finding this. But I'm gonna go on the hunt. But anyway, I just had to come in here and sit down a minute. 4-speed overdrive transmission. Power and normal buttons. Ah, the light works. Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice the Prindle was down here. I thought it was over here. Oh, everything. The headlights work? Yes, they do. My gracious. That brake pedal is a sin against humanity. Uh-oh, what's all of this? Well, we're gonna have to go check that out. Definitely could use some speakers, maybe some kickers, and that stereo is, it's pretty old. It seems to work, but it's old. I think it could probably use a nice Bluetooth upgrade so I don't have to use the old iPod mini and finally kill it off. But man, it's just glorious in here. I love it. I love it. All right, I went and got it some nice, fresh, new Texas license plates, even though these are still valid. That's right, fathead. I live on the border of New Mexico and Texas, so we have to kind of choose which plate we want. I live literally on like the last street of Texas, so I'm gonna change these out real quick. All right, I put the rear plate on. I even found the original plate surround from Albuquerque, American Toyota, in the trunk, so that went on there. And I noticed in the trunk somebody has done this beautiful wiring job of putting these Sony Mega Bass home stereo speakers wired jankily into the wiring, I guess. Yeah, there's the wiring with those little nuts for a water heater. It's always something on these cars. We're gonna have to fix that. I also noticed this thing over here. The Las Cruces Bulldogs. Take a shit on your lawn. He looks like he's about to take a shit, or just did, judging by the color. Wow, this thing's old. Oh look, Savers. I've been there. Neat. Let's go to the front. So I went to go put the plate on the front and I realized there's no screws. It's never had any. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to drill into this bumper. You know, 40 years old just for me to drill screws into it. And then I noticed this. Holy crap. That thing has probably been on here since the day the car was brand new. That's ridiculous. And that it's still there and in one piece. I'm debating just putting the plate over it so I don't take it off, but it would kind of be nice to put that in my collection of like old memorabilia from Toyota. So yeah, let's do it, fathead. Let's take that off real quick and take a gander. Well, I don't think anybody's gonna see that down there, so hopefully the cops don't give me some grief over that. But isn't that the neatest thing you ever saw? Holy crap, this is cool. I feel like if I washed this, it would probably just disintegrate. Wow, think about that. That shit's been there for 40 years, and I just took it off. There you go, you may have this. It is your family heirloom, fathead. Doesn't even care. So much for graciousness. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the trunk, I suppose. Next couple things I want to get to. I need to change the spark plug wires. I went to just, you know, inspect the engine overall and found out that some mice had chewed through the spark plug wires. I did buy this from like a farm, rural area. Also, the antenna is completely missing, like the whole thing, not just the antenna portion, but this as well. And I changed the wipers already because look at those babies. That shit ain't wiping nothing. So let's change some plugs. So here we are under the hood of this gorgeous beast. And I mean, it is more than original under here. Yeah, you've got a replacement alternator and hoses and stuff. Hey, Graby, what you doing? Hey, sweetie pie. I'll feed you in a second, okay? But anyway, I mean, I'm gonna show you this. This radiator is original, okay? That starter, original. This is nuts. An original starter. An original radiator is ridiculous. This baby is going to be the first thing to blow up on me. So I do have to change this, unfortunately, just for safety's sake. Oh my goodness, you're ravenous. Come here, sweetie. I don't want you getting hurt. Come on. There you go. I don't want you getting hurt, so I put you in the engine with all the mechanical whatnots. How you doing? Want to be on the TV today or on the internet world? Whatever the shit that's called. Hi. But anyway, we got to change these spark plug wires because look at what the rats have done. They done chewed through it. So when you grab these, yoink, they just pop right off. And you notice there's no terminal in there. That's because it's on the end of the plug. However, the plug to me looks fairly new. I'm literally not going to even check them because it runs so good. Isn't that right, Graby? Also known as Mr. Sunshine. That's right. So let me yank all these plug wires off and change them. All new plug wires. Let's go ahead and take off this distributor cap. It looks pretty good, but who knows how old it is. I don't see a marking on it. So let's just see how the rotor looks and the cap underneath looks. Yeah, I need to go get some sandpaper. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'm probably just going to replace the cap and rotor altogether, honestly. Look at that. Them's nasty. So, who knows how old this is. It looks great, and it runs great, but it always could run better. Look how clean inside that distributor, my God. So, we're going to go ahead and get some sandpaper and clean that up just for the sake of argument, I suppose. New spark plug wires, clean the distributor cap and rotor. Fiddled with a few little small thingies here and there. Let's see how she starts up. She never started out bad to begin with, but I think now it'll just, it had like the tiniest little hiccup when it would first start. I think now she'll just pop right to life. Still does a little bit of a hiccup, but it runs and idles good. So I think that's all you can ask for. That muffler needs to go. when I'm putting the tires on, because I ordered 4 tires, we're gonna go ahead and change that muffler. You hear it? It's just awful. Truly awful. I did fiddle with the air conditioning for a bit, and I didn't really get anywhere with that, so we're gonna now fiddle with the stereo. I'm not really sure how this is mounted in or anything like that, so I'm just gonna gently like grab. Oh, what the fuck? This whole thingamajig comes off? Okay, well, I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Well, no surprise to anybody, this is a piece of shit. Who knows how old this whatchamacallit is. At least it has the diagrams, which is good because it's just sort of water heater nutted on there. And this car is so old that it doesn't have your traditional layout for the wiring, so I'm gonna have to look up a diagram. I did end up yanking out that awful cassette player and sticking a Bluetooth stereo in here just for ease and comfort. And after hooking it all up and trying to get it to play, I found out somebody's done, of course, some stupidity in here. So that's the seat every time I lean on it. Anyway, somebody's done some stupidity here in the wiring department. Also, check that out. That's something else. Somebody has bypassed the entire harness, like the front and rear speaker harnesses, and ran their own wire. I don't know why they've done this. I need to find wherever these original speaker go to. I don't think this is it. It could be, but I don't think so. There's a number of something going on here. I think it's probably gonna be this one right here. So we're gonna put some wires in there and hook it up to the speaker and see if anything happens. As is pretty typical with used cars, especially ones that are 30, 40 years old, we've basically gone on a snipe hunt. What do you mean by that, Jimmy? Well, you see all of the wiring everywhere. This nightmare that is unfolded before my very eyes. The reality is that the person who owned this car before me, I don't think it was the elderly people. I think it was the grandson that tried to do some repair. Has removed the whole wiring harness for the stereo from the car. I mean, the whole thing. Like from the radio to both speakers in front, and from the radio to the both speakers in the rear, because there are no wires at all. The harness does seem to go up. See those wires right there? This is the radio harness right here. That is the radio harness. And it does go up into the dashboard, but the radio wires terminate somewhere that I cannot find them without removing the dash. We have all of this. So basically these wires go to the speakers here, and they were hooked directly to this stereo. Same thing with the wires on that side, and same thing with the ones in the rear. You can actually kind of see in the rear seat that they have run speaker wire to the rear speakers because the harness is simply not there. Whether or not this vehicle did not come with speakers, maybe that's a possibility, as it wasn't optioned with factory speakers, but it has the grills, so I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. I found a George Strait cassette. Does it have All My Exes Live in Texas? That's the very first one. Very nice. This is never going to get played again. But, yeah, I've come to the conclusion that the wiring harness simply is not there. So we're going to have to rerun the entire harness front to rear to get music, because if you look in here, you see how there's wires in there? They don't go to anything. There's just no speaker. And we have the same problem on this side. Except on this side, it's much worse, because the wiring does go to those wires, which go to the front of the stereo. So, yay for causing Mr. Jimmy more work. The year is 1879. I have been working on this car stereo for negative 130 years. I'm working by carbide lamp at this point. Hey, Graby. There's Mr. Sunshine. So it's basically taken me all day. I had to rewire all of the wires to the dash for the speakers left and right. We now have sound in both front. And you can see I've got wires, or maybe you can't see because of the light. Right, yeah, there it is. I've got wires running all the way to the back of the vehicle. and we're going to take all these trim panels off and attach them under the rear deck. At least that's what the hope is. I've gotten to the point where I'm just going to work on this thing until it's pitch black and I lose every little bit of patience and sanity that I have. Why? I don't really know. I think it's like I'm testing myself or something. I'm like Moses. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys when I'm done. So to give you some proof of concept that I'm actually doing something and this all isn't amounting to nothing, behold. There, that's Al Stewart's Time Passages, okay? I put Pioneers in the front. I don't like the way they sound even remotely, but I can't find a 4-inch speaker anywhere locally at all. So that's all I could find in my shed were the Pioneer. I think they're like 3.5s or something, 3.4, I don't know. I did manage to find a set of Kicker 5.25s for the rear, which is what I use, but I already had those on hand. These I had to go buy. So, we're getting somewhere. This is what insanity looks like. That's insanity right there. Almost no daylight left and I'm still doing this crap. So I just got done wiring up all the speakers, front and rear. They all work, it sounds good, I'm happy with it. What I wanted to do is turn the headlights and taillights on and get an idea of what lights work and do not work. So we have a third brake light out. Neither one of the taillight lenses work. Or like the license plate lights, I should say. This corner marker works. This one does not. All the lights inside work. And I notice we have a headlight out. So we have a headlight out on this side right here. And both corner lamps are out. Both the blinker and the actual corner lamp. I don't think I've ever bought a car with so many lights that didn't work. They must have just been barely driving this car, because you would notice at least some of those things. So it looks like I got some bulbs to change. Alrighty, I managed to source some new headlights and some license plate lights. I've already installed all the little fiddly lights in the front and on the corners. There's Mr. Sunshine. So let's replace a couple of lights. So the next thing I want to do is I need some air conditioning, man. It was 101 degrees today and I drove this thing to work. Oh my gosh. You know, there's no tint. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's no tint. It's not there. It definitely needs to get tinted, but you know, I have several cans of this crap. The issue being that somebody has done an R1348 conversion on it already, and I'm not sure if this valve is just gummed up, but that is the old R12 valve right there. And R12 and R1348 don't really get along too well. If you do the proper oil procedure on it and all of that stuff, you don't have too much of a problem. But the issue that I'm having is that when I go to plug this little adapter into this, it's just like backing up. It's not really doing anything. So I need to see what's going on with this valve first and foremost, and then we can see if we can charge the system. If not, I'm going to have to go get some R12 tools to actually convert like it back to R12, because you can buy, I forget what it's called, Icy Cool or something, which is like a synthetic R12, and it will take that, but I prefer to convert it to R1348 if possible. Let there be air conditioning. So I did the R1348 conversion kit, sucked out all the old stuff with my vacuum pump, and it's blowing cold air conditioning. How nice. For how long, nobody knows. But also I fixed all the lights that I was gonna fix, if you remember. So look, there's all the lights. We now have both headlights. This light is fixed. We have both license plate lights. And both headlights. All right. Press the brakes. Yeah, they're short-circuiting for some reason. Now that we know we have those weird problems with the taillights with the headlights on, how they're swapping side to side like a pair of blinking eyes, I decided to just replace every single bulb, including this third brake light bulb up here. And this is a weird looking thing. Look at this. It's kind of hard to see in the darkness like this, but this just unclips. You like take, I don't know if I can do this with, yeah, I can, okay. Or maybe I can't. There we go. Yeah, it just literally folds down. That's really cool. I like that. That is neat. And you just, one by one, take the bulbs out and change them. So that's what we're going to do. What are you doing in here? Goodness gracious, it's a full-on party out here. Well, I'm glad you're having fun, Mr. Sunshine. Don't fuck up my wiring, and don't pee in that bag again, or I will get you, sonny boy. Anyway, I gotta go back to changing these bulbs. So first, press on the brakes. Okay. Turn on the headlights and press the brakes. Do it again. Yeah. Do it again. Do it again. Taillights off. Headlights. Headlights with brakes. Off. Again. Okay. So as you saw in that last clip, basically I had the problem of the taillights switching both to one side. So I changed all of the brake light bulbs, literally every bulb. And we only ended up having this one become a straggler where it would switch. It was a grounding issue with the case on the bulb housing. So once I fixed the grounding issue, it went back to braking like it should. And we only had this one, which was a straggler. It would come on after the others, but still come on. Again, same issue. It was grounding out on the case, so I fixed that. And there you go. Now we have all the taillights functioning as they should. I even put this neat, see that Eddie would go? Had that on a couple of my cars, and I also put a local motion sticker. So she's coming out pretty good. All right, time to change that distributor cap and plugs and the distributor rotor. So I went ahead and got out the owner's manual, and it says we're looking for an NGK BPR 5EY11. BPR 5EY11. So these are the correct plugs. I believe these are standard copper plugs. They are not platinum. They did not use platinum plugs in 1986. So I think Bosch invented the platinum plug in 85. So this was still a fairly new car at the time and wouldn't have been put into effect. So we have the right plugs for this car, the exact ones. Now all we got to do with this neat little work light is change them. So let's get to it. All right, the plugs don't look all that bad. They are the appropriate plug. It's kind of hard to see because it's washed out. Well, no, they're not the right plug. But the weird thing is they're green. I've never seen a green residue on the end of a plug like that before. I think that has something to do with corrosion. I'm not sure. They're also gapped incorrectly. These are supposed to be gapped at 44 thousandths, and I believe these are gapped at 35, 34. So we're gonna go put the new plugs in and gap them correctly. There's our new plug, sitting pretty. Gapped to 0.44, 0.44, whatever you want to call it, 44 thousandths. There's a little extraterrestrial type creature of unknown origin right here, doing irritating things to me while I'm trying to film. That's right, I'm talking about you. Ready? Let's get him. You are funny, Mr. Sunshine. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, back to plugs. Alrighty, I was able to find the missing emblems. If you remember, before it was a Toyota Ka, now it is a Toyota Camry. Nice. Ooh, and the LE badge really pulls it off. As John Davis from Motor Week would say, this is a Toyota Camry.
The Camry.
Camrys is so for Toyota's Camry D6 Camry looks about like any other Camry.
Because apparently there's an invisible A between the R and the Y. Beautiful. Fortunately, it has rained all over my beautiful car, and the birds have shit on it. You need to get to work eating those birds, fathead. That's right, get to work. To give you an idea how disgusting this seat is, I have this old, I think it's from the 90s, it's like a carpet shampooer. I did one pass. Look at that. It looks like a pair of denim jeans before and after the Sandlot. That's disgusting. So I'm gonna do a little section here just to see how it looks. And then I'll come back real quick as the light fades from our eyes. So this is after the first pass with the machine. It definitely brought the color quite a bit back out from what it was. If you look from there to here, it's much better, but there's still a lot of staining on the seat. It's completely dry now. The top of the seat came out great, except for this. Looks like we're gonna have to go over it again with the machine, and then we'll head over to that one. So that's after a second pass with the machine. It's looking a lot better. You can definitely still see some faint staining in certain spots, and I'm sure once it dries it will be much worse. But look at the stark difference. That is quite a difference. So we're gonna use the machine now and see what we can do to the other seat. Yeah, from this angle, look at the difference. You can really tell the difference between the seat colors and this like filthy color. I hope it stays like that, because man, that looks nice. I'm also gonna have to do the door panels too now, and maybe everything else. Oh man, I told myself I wasn't gonna take this car too far, and look at me now. It has been a few hours, and we've got the front seats cleaner than they were. I'm not gonna say beautiful, but you can see the difference in color between that and this, right? That and this. So we're getting somewhere anyway. Now we're doing the back seats. The front seats came out all right. They're gonna have to have a third pass because you can still see some little stains here and there. You can see we're already doing good. So this seat has been done a once over. And you can see just the color difference from here to there. You can see a little bit right there. But the color difference from here to there is astounding. Not so much on the bottom cushion, which is weird. It's mostly on this back rest right there, I've noticed. So we're gonna do the backrest first, and then we'll transfer over to the seat cushion. So in my opinion, that's a pretty discernible difference from one side, which is nice and blue, and this side, which is dark gray and dirty. 50 shades of blue, really. That's what this car is, 50 shades of blue. So I'm gonna keep doing this. So I've decided to name her Grandma, after my grandma's Subaru, because it very much looks like my grandma's old car. Plus she's an old girl and she needs some love. Look how beautiful. With a nice cleanup, she came out really, really nice. I mean, just a really beautiful, beautiful car. I love this car. Absolutely gorgeous. I need to wax or maybe polish the car. Look how the inside came out. I still haven't vacuumed it, but look at those seats. Wowee. Even the door panels came out nice. Grandma is gorgeous. She's all dolled up and ready for bingo.
I'll be turned back in my dust from now on. I'm all the road.
Gotta say I love you, Grandma. So let's go vacuum this out and I'll take her home. Well, Grandma's home and she's all cleaned up. Isn't she gorgeous? Just like Betty White. You know, speaking of which, what a tragedy. I can't believe God wouldn't just give her the extra 6 months to make it to 100 years old. Why couldn't he have just taken Jerry Lewis a few more years earlier, the shitbag, and given it to Betty White? Nobody liked Jerry Lewis. He was an awful human being. How old did Phyllis Diller live to be, for that matter? I hope it was at least 100. She was awesome. Anyway, look how gorgeous this car came out. I mean, this car is beautiful. Look at this. Wow. I think I have about $1,700 into the car right now. That's a little more than I would usually have into one of these projects, but I just wanted this one to be special. This one spoke to me. Still a couple little things. I found the dome light cover. I also found the brake pad pedal. Those are in the mail. Found a couple of other things that will be put on. But, I mean, she's gorgeous. A gorgeous, gorgeous car. Look at those hubcaps shine. So in the next video, we're mostly going to fix a bunch of little things. You know, a bunch of niggling, tiny things that just bother me. Like, again, the brake pedal, the dome light. I already fixed the antenna. I'm not sure if I said anything about that. That's about as fixed as it's going to get. Otherwise, I got to paint the whole fender, and I'm not going to do that. But she came out beautiful. She really did. I love this car. Let's start it up real quick, show you how easy. Once I replace those ignition components, she starts right up. Let's take a look at this. 126,000 original miles. No lights on of any kind except a door ajar light. Truly a gorgeous vehicle. Ready? Look at that. Starts right up. Fasten seatbelts. No thank you. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's no seatbelts in this car. We die like the people died in the 80s. No airbags. Gorgeous car. Bluetooth stereo. Yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful vehicle. Still a little bit on the loud side, but I'm gonna have that fixed in the next couple days. In the next video, we'll go through a bunch of little things and maybe beautify the engine compartment a little, change a valve cover, gasket, etc., etc. But that's going to do it for this video. But thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.